What happens on Friday night? When a person wants to enjoy themselves, where do they enjoy themselves? Where do they think they have to go to? The majority of the people say, well, first, my Friday, I got to get a drink. Let me get a drink first. Okay? Let me take a smoke. I got to get ready now for the night. And then they're off for the night. How do you enjoy yourself? What are the places being built right here in Melbourne? Right? The Crown Casino. Where are people going to? Even here in Australia, down under, you have what? The second largest casino in the world. And you're down under. What about the people who are up on the other side? Casino life. Gambling. And the gambling will destroy you. You see what it says here? Rijsun min amal shaitan. It is a filth. It is an abomination from the work of the devil. Stay away from it. But no, the roulette wheel. They play all the one-armed bandits, the dice, the cards, and they keep thinking, I'm going to win. I'll go back tomorrow. I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And the shaitan plays on their mind and destroys their families, destroys the society. But it's considered to be, okay, he's just enjoying himself. Or he's just drunk. But what causes most of the accidents on the highway? Go to the transport authority right here in Australia and see over the Christmas vacation and the main holidays what causes most accidents on the highway, and you'll probably find it is alcohol. It is people being intoxicated, toxic. You're being poisoned. It poisons the system, throws off your balance, changes your way of thinking. And so we find in this new world order that we become intoxicated. We are involved in gambling. No, I won't go to casino. I will go to the discotheque. I will go to rave, and I will rave all night. And we have a thing in Cape Town, I don't know whether you have it, they call it ecstasy. And they gave it to the young generation, ecstasy. They use all these names, right? Ecstasy, like you're really, in some type of heaven. And they give it to the younger generation, and he stays up all night and he's raving around. And to catch the Muslims in Cape Town, they even made the rave center look like a masjid. On the side it looks like Masjid al-Aqsa. On the front it looks like the Blue Mosque in Turkey. And they had 7 levels of rave. And even for the Muslims in Cape Town, and this is an advanced form of corruption, they said no, when you're dancing, if you want to eat, they have halal food. So you can have halal food. And you can still be a Muslim, you see? That's how it was tailor-made for us. And so, arousing passion. Arousing this. Why do you think in these movies there's this terrible violence they are showing? And then always this erotica, this Greek concept now coming in, where the body, people worship the body, the shape of the body being the most important thing. And the young woman feels she must show something from her body in order to be acceptable. She must expose her body even to her enemies. She exposes her body and thinks that she's modern, or thinks that she's intelligent, and she has self-esteem because she's exposing her inner parts even to her enemies. And up until now, with years of so-called women's liberation, they are still selling cars with beautiful girls. Lamborghini, the Porsche. They're still doing that. Exploiting the sexuality of women in order to sell products. And so we see it happening. We see it. And in the last part of this verse, or in the last part of the categories, the khamr and the maisir, also shirk, the polytheism, worshipping other gods, and fortune telling. And people are involved in superstitions and in fortune telling, getting their palms read, going to people, to the magic people in order to get married, or in order to hurt somebody, or in order to be successful in business. Afraid of numbers, afraid of 11, afraid of 13, afraid of 666. And so fear is placed in the heart. Superstition is placed in the heart. And behind it, a lying deceiver. You think you're going to paradise. You think you're enjoying yourself. But the alcohol and intoxicants is killing your body. Lethal social diseases is cutting down your population. Gambling is ruining the family, ruining communities. But it's done in the name of progress and democracy and the 21st century. And the Quran also tells us that Shaitan will say when the matter is decided. And this is a picture in Jahannam, in hell. When the people are down burning in hell, and they see the Shaitan burning in hell, and they say, but you promised us. You promised us the promise of truth. And he said, I had no authority over you, but I called you and you came. I had no authority over you. And they really have no authority over us. But they call us, they put out the signals, they put out the advertisements, and we follow them. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also told to the shaitan, and made it clear, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ إِنَّ عِبَادِي لَيْسَ لَكَ عَلَيْهِمْ سُلْطَانٌ إِلَّا مَنِ اتَّبَعَكَ مِنَ الْغَاوِينَ. That surely amongst my slaves, my worshippers, you will have no authority over them, except those who follow you from the evil doers, except those who submit to you and submit to this system. And so we find ourselves Muslims and non-Muslims, people of conscience, people of goodness, who knew this world 30 or 40, 50 years ago, who knew their generation, knew their grandparents, and see the social fabric of society falling apart. Racism on the rise, murder being spread all throughout the planet. And then they are accusing Muslims. Why are they accusing us of this? Let's go to the bottom line. And what you have to realize, if behind all of these secret societies is the evil one, is the shaitan, وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, then he will attack the holders of truth. That if you are talking and living the revelation, you become an enemy to the evil one, وَعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. And so the reality is that we must never forget, that Muslims must never forget that Islam is the real solution for this planet. We hold the solution in our hands. We hold it in our hearts. And we need to practice this now. Never forget who you are. Nobody cares if you just wear a kufi on your head, or you just say that your name is Ahmed. The biggest gangsters in Cape Town have Muslim names. The biggest gangsters. So nobody cares what your name is. But you have to realize that we have an interest-free economy. That if Allah blesses us with a state, we would establish a cooperative society which is not capitalism, it is not socialism. The banks will lend you money with no interest. It will be a cooperative system where if you have land and the bank gives you money, if your project succeeds, you both succeed. If your project fails, you both fail. Now, if you borrow money, if you fail, the bank wins and you fail. How many people know the pressure of living under a mortgage or a bond? It follows you all your life. Some people pay the bond for 20 years. Hard labor. And then when they can't pay, their house is taken away from them. Some of them never live to see the fruits of their labor. It is burnt up in papers. And so an interest-free cooperative society. And if our sheikhdoms, if our rich leaders would take their money out of these interest banks and put it into an Islamic economy, we would change the face of this earth.